Now here's a film that will turn you into a vicious, soulless killer. Enjoy!
I see clearly. Game currencies everywhere for Christmas. This is the last episode before the holidays, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'm going to not say any further. It's going to be a jam-packed episode with a lot of controversy, hacking, scams, and, well, in-game currency. Let's roll on with the show. Kids are telling their parents all they want for Christmas, and it's not you. It's fake in-game currency and game subscriptions, because of course it is. In an article published on November 20th, the ESA has boasted a claim that nearly 72% of kids this Christmas list includes game digital currencies and subscription tokens this year. While the ESA isn't exactly an impartial source to be reporting on what you would buy for kids for the holidays, this list's order is just bizarre to my aging millennial brain. What do you think? According to the report, 72% of kids are asking for in-game currency. In a close second place, 70% of kids asking for money and gift cards. In third place, we have about 66% of kids asking for clothing, and in fourth, with 62% of kids asking for some kind of electronics. Physical toys and games were included on only 38% of lists, tickets and experiences on only 32%, arts and craft on only 28% of lists, and books on only 26% of lists. I don't know, maybe I'm just a little bit out of touch, but in-game currency and clothes in the top three. Clothes? Are we in bizarro world? Like, what do kids want? Is this just weird? Like, what would you guys want? Like, if you looked back to when you were a child, what did you want? I certainly could seriously say I never put clothes on my list anyway, for one. Maybe some new games, but in-game currency? Yeah, the world has gone cuckoo, guys. The world has gone cuckoo. Or are you also asking for in-game currency? Let us know in the comments. Hey guys, if I can ask for a favor, most of you who watch my YouTube channel are not yet subscribed or pressed the like button. Trust me, it will help me out more than you know, and I aim to earn it. So please hit the like button to help the YouTube algorithm to promote my videos into the future and to see more gaming content, and yours truly. Thank you for your time and your support. Now, on with the episode. The Insomniac studio, known for games such as Ratchet & Clank and Spider-Man, was targeted by ransomware. They demanded several $1 million as a ransom, or they will leak upcoming game details such as the Wolverine game currently in development and employee data. Sony, of course, did not bow to these hackers, and the hackers followed through and leaked the entire plot of the Wolverine game and even a bootable version of the game, which no doubt will be cracked open soon as it requires a developer's kit. This year has been hit with several big leaks from Microsoft's mid-gen and next-gen consoles and upcoming titles. Sony made public some of the costs of their games, Nvidia revealed a ton of unannounced games, and the GTA 6 hack revealed a lot of information of the upcoming game, which robbed the creators over at Rockstar, revealing their own game in advance. Now there is a Wolverine gameplay out there, even if it's not ready to show, just like the GTA 6 situation, robbing Insomniac the chance to reveal their own title on their own terms when it was ready. Sure, they will when it's ready, but it will come at a much lowered voice thanks to this, and that sucks for them. Ultimately, employee data being leaked by the hackers is probably the biggest blow of all, and I hope nothing crazy happens to any employee affected. I want to do a quick rundown of the crazy drama involving a game called The Day Before. I want to do a quick background of events and sum it all up in a bite-sized content which ended in catastrophe. Because trust me, I could do a 40-minute video alone on this, but we don't have the time, people. Christmas is almost here. So grab the popcorn, ladies and gentle nerds. It's going to be cringe. So what is The Day Before, you may ask? The Day Before is a modern post-apocalyptic zombie survival MMO that has been described as a cross between The Last of Us with the graphic style and Call of Duty on the game format. Now, we will eventually appreciate how this game is not even a MMO, hence my little smirk at the end of the last sentence, but stay tuned on that one. The Day Before was initially announced in late 2021 and set to release in June 2022. The game was delayed when developers decided to change its engine from Unreal 4 to Unreal 5, which ended up causing a huge yeet from the original June 2022 date, pushed back by a sizable 9 months to March 2023. Now note, many were already skeptical about this game, with the word scam repeatedly used across the Twitter sphere and Reddit, or should I say the X sphere nowadays. Around this time, with some digging, people noticed a new page that they were looking for part-time and full-time volunteers to work on the game. Volunteers to work on an extremely impressive MMO survival game that looks better than all AAA games out at the moment? Alright, let's bite. But if we look closely, they were looking to pay the full-time volunteers. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies and gentlemen. I do not believe you pay volunteers salaries. The strange thing was, this was no Kickstarter scam like many games in the past. They were pumping out overly produced hype trailers, but no reports of an alpha or even beta test. Heck, even the moderators on their Discord had no idea what was going on, putting their faith in this never-heard-before company, which is promising revelation in the gaming industry with this new title. Cut to January 2023. And the most wish-listed game on Steam was delisted on Steam. This was days before. See what I did there? That promised game footage was to be released after people constantly asked for it online of their game. At that time, this game was releasing less than 2 months beforehand. Fantastic, who are the developers and the studio of this game, originally came out and said it was a Steam error, before a copyright apology came out shortly after, since someone in Korea had a calendar app named The Day Before. Imagine announcing and soon releasing a game and never even looked it up to see if the title was used elsewhere. Okay, so finally some truth had been spoken, but this is where it gets a little bit more ridiculous when Fantastic then decided to not show the promised footage due to the copyright issue. Which begs the question, why not? Just don't publish the name with the footage. Like, come on guys, seriously. This copyright played in their favor and bought them even more time, because soon after they decided to yeet it again to the release of November 2023. Even the moderators on the official Discord didn't even know if the game was real. The conspiracies did not die down there. If anything, this fuel caused the fire to grow to full force. To try and quieten down the calls of scams and other rumors, the team at Fantastic pulled out multiple trailers between that date and November 2023, which almost beat by beat copied multiple successful games before them. Now, if you're going to steal, lads, then at least try to do this from games most people never heard of. So without a doubt, as expected by now, people online started to accuse the developers of plagiarism. Eventually, they released 10 minutes of game footage, finally, after years of asking, which mostly showcased a character running around empty environments with nowhere near the graphic quality as was seen in the trailers. Low zombie density and no enemy variety, long opening times for loot, and once again, just the downgraded graphics from the fake release trailers. With some good news for Fantastic, they won their court case and could use the title the day before because the judge found no one would confuse a video game with a calendar app. Well, duh! With the arrival of a new trailer at the start of November, a beta was finally announced, but not for the public. Yes, the volunteers who helped Fantastic only. And the news only kept getting better. Another delay until December 7th. Volunteers and beta. Two things the developers don't understand. You don't pay volunteers' salaries, and you certainly don't call internal testing as a beta, you stupid Okay, calm down, Jay. The December 7th date would finally actually be the release of the game, but another major announcement by Fantastic, because of course there will be. The game will not be a full 1.0 release, but an early access. What a great surprise. A great way to take your money without fixing anything, or as slowly as they wanted. Can I serve you a red flag with your scam, sirs? The day finally came, the servers finally activated on December 7th, and the people flooding in. Over 38,000 concurrent players on Steam with constant server instability. Looks like those fake trailers work. Looks like companies giving you nothing but trailers for their upcoming titles works. Who needs gameplay when you can sell them trailers which do not represent the final product? When will we as consumers wake up to this bullshit, people? Oh, and did I mention it was an abhorrent, buggy mess? Because of course it was. Fantastic even took it upon themselves to remove the MMO tag, remember I said wait for that, from Steam the day after the release of the game. You know, when people purchased it already. And here comes the kicker, ladies and gentlemen. In its opening 3 days, the game lost 80% of its players, and everyone was getting a refund. Over 200,000 sales in these opening days, with overwhelming negative reviews on Steam, and over 90,000 refunds registered at the time. It is now one of the lowest scored games on Steam. And in short, to end the steaming shitpile, the studio announced its closure and Steam delisted it off their store once again. So goodbye, Fantastic, for your short-lived career. And to put an end to this, in Fantastic's own words, yes, it really does. Here's a little bit of extra news that slipped by me in October, but during a weekend event in October 14th and 15th, Mojang Studios announced that their bread and butter title, Minecraft, broke another record and officially sold 300 million copies of the game worldwide. The game was originally released in 2009 and 2011 when it was finally finished by indie programmer Marcus Pearson, the founder and major shareholder of Mojang Studios, as a pet project that went viral and became a new gaming sensation, resulting in, of course, a multi-million-dollar creation for Marcus, his business partners and Mojang Studios. Minecraft was officially bought out by Microsoft back in 2014 for a sum of $2.5 billion. After Marcus posted publicly he was exhausted with managing Minecraft and what it had become, looking for offers to buy out his shares of the title, and stepped away from Mojang Studios shortly after the sale was finalized. Under the new management of Matt Booty, booty. And Microsoft's oversight Mojang Studios remained almost 100% independent from Microsoft development and management. Instead, they became more of a subsidiary for Microsoft, backed by the resources and finances of the computer and gaming giant. This current announcement now not only officially puts Minecraft far ahead of Grand Theft Auto 5, considered its closest competition at the time, but also now put Minecraft in third place for most copies sold globally. First place is the Mario franchise with over 800 million copies sold, and second place being Tetris for mobile devices with 425 million copies sold. And I'm still here without any millions. Typical. Released on October 27th, 2023, which I'm currently slowly getting through, but in the final hours of it, Alan Wake 2. This is the sequel to the survival horror franchise Alan Wake, and it takes place 13 years after the events of the previous game. You are playing as an FBI agent and profiler by the name of Saga Anderson, investigating what appears to be at work of ritualist serial killers. You also take control of Alan Wake, who has been stuck in the alternative dimension he called the Dark Place these past 13 years, and later on in the story you can alternate between both characters, but both sides must finish their relevant story arcs before the finale can take place. Saga finds herself encountering strange clues, crime scenes, socially awkward townies, but most important, pieces of a manuscript that seem to be detailing her investigation, which can carry out in her mind place, along with profiling people of note through her powers, but also seems to detail things that have yet to pass, and it would seem to be written by Alan Wake himself. Eventually, after a few more strange happenings, like a local deputy vanishing before their eyes and a dead body with no heart getting up and running out of the morgue, Agent Casey decides to take that this is the time to recount an old cold case revolving around Alan Wake and they set out to find him. During all of this, the return of the antagonist Mr. Scratch, a doppelganger of Alan Wake from the Dark Place, deploys his own nightmare to her cast of characters. Saga and Alan now must team up and use their abilities and knowledge to defeat and stop the darkness before it can consume and trap them in a corrupted version of Alan Wake's manuscript, edited by Mr. Scratch. This game is jaw-dropping amazing, from the graphics to the story, acting, visuals, from in-game cinematics merging with their real-life counterparts. This time around, combat has seen major improvements where it has been very lackluster in the first. The game achieved very high scores from most critics, with players on PC giving it 89 out of 100, PS5 with 88, and Xbox with 94. The game recently won multiple awards at the Game Awards with Best Direction, Best Narrative, and Best Art Direction. The game recently added a new game plus and will have 2 paid expansions at a later date. And as my audience says on stream, has Alan awoken yet? Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting me this year. Roll on 2024 with a lot more content incoming. So remember, if you did like the episode, please like and subscribe. If you have not done so already, feel free to tell your family and friends. You know, share the gift this Christmas. But either way, I do wish you a very peaceful and safe Christmas and happy holidays, no matter what you get up to. And I'll see you all in the new year. Take care, guys. J Cots out. Sláinte.